Wholeness, it's Josh Dippold of Integrating Presence, and today is January 19th, 2025, Sunday. I thought I'd just do a brief recollection on my visit to Haeinsa. Please forgive the pronunciation, and disclaimer here too, please contact me to correct anything here and give feedback, advice, input, because the whole point is to minimize distortions. So I visited Haeinsa temple today. It houses the Korean Tripitaka, which is the Buddhist canon. I don't know the extent of it, but if I'm getting this right, it's the complete version, or it contains a complete version of the Pali Canon in, I forget the name of the script exactly, but the main thing is it's in quite old, if not one of the oldest complete versions, carved on wood blocks. It's got a special preservation technique. I'm not exactly sure, but my own experience just going to the temple, there's a longer bus ride, and it's housed above the temple, which I happen to, since it's a Sunday, see either a rice offering or water offering. A monk took it in and entered the temple, which was closed. The doors were closed all around. Interesting, and chanting was going on. He looked directly at me with his back face going in there and facing me. And I bowed, but without my hands folded, so that was just kind of a spontaneous thing. So that was quite interesting. So climbing up and then holding my camera really, and my hat in my hands in a way, I guess. Climbing up there, going through, and just standing there and just kind of taking in the sheer magnitude and scope of the whole place. Couldn't really see much of it. There were certain areas with the light hitting it, and certain areas where the light didn't hit, and then the optics, part of it was roped off, part of it can go close up, part of the wood slits I could see inside, part of it I couldn't. Part of it had the first shelf nearest the window slits vacant, so it was in their shadows and light, and so it just gives some different impressions and of what's not publicly available, maybe, or maybe it is, and I'm just too lazy to research this. So I got to walk around a little bit, and the workers there, they pointed me to the information kiosk, which was blaring a little bit too loud, I think. And, when this is a UNESCO World Heritage Site, some very important people have now become interested and find it important. So I think the little kiosk said that it was destroyed during the Mongol invasion. So of course it begs the question, why were the Mongols interested in it to begin with? Why did they destroy it? How did they destroy it? Was it protected? Was it at least given time to hide? Did they find out anything beforehand? Why is it at that location? Has it always been at that location? But the biggest wonderment for me is the sheer magnitude and scope, like I said. So when did it all start? They said the original version was destroyed by the Mongol invasion, and then it got recreated, 13th century or something like this, 14th century. Where did the conception even come from to do something so complete? Was it copied from the Chinese? The resolve to do this, but the other thing is, how is it gathered? How was all this information gathered into one place? Of course, I'd like to know too if the woodblocks are being digitally scanned, if they've been at least photographed. Of course, these things are made to print out on like a printing press, I guess. And so I wonder how many times they've been pressed paper, what kind of materials have used on the ink, what kind of wood has been used to carve it. A lot of this could probably be looked up, where did they come from, all the practices involved in this, how much did they check, accuracy, how many copies at the time did they compare to, how did they decide on what they carved in there, what resources do they have available to ensure accuracy. These are the big ones that stand out. But just standing there, taking it all in, and it was a really special thing for me. Because I feel without that, maybe the access to the polycanon that I have access to, it might not have been the same way that it is now, or not, and yeah, there's just so much wonderment into accuracy, preservation, and how it all came about, really. Yeah, I wonder who can actually go in there and access it. And I think the upside to digitally scanning these things is that they could be 3D printed perhaps one day. I would love to see like a psychic energetic investigation or trail into these, as far as the pre-Mongol invasion version compared to this, all the different interactions and perhaps special occurrences that happen surrounding this. I think it's kind of a great mystery to leave it that. And of course, these questions don't have to be answered. They're just ones that arose. And may this collection be well, and those who serve it, and may it benefit all beings everywhere. And of course, I have to say, may all beings everywhere realize awakening and be free.